Hello, Suns fans. This is Suns Latest. I am Rich Rubin. As of this recording, we have over 1,400 Sunscribers. Remember, when you Sunscribe, you are no longer a sub. You're part of the starting five. And you make this better with your back and forth and your comments. So thank you. Thanks to Fan Art for the platform. This is a total blast. Let's get to it. We got a lot to cover today. Not going to do a super sub because there's a lot of NBA news, and we're going to follow up on the Chris Paul situation. Here's the quote: "If I could look into the future, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you doorknobs. I'd be out investing in the stock market." Kevin McHale, part of the greatest front line in NBA history, along with Robert Parrish and Larry Bird of the hated Celtics. Charles Barkley said Kevin McHale was the toughest cover he ever had. He hated playing against him. McHale is clearly probably a top 5 power forward of all time. Barkley said he was almost impossible to defend. I always wanted Amari Stoudemire to have a sit down with Kevin McHale and learn how to not gather and put the ball on the floor. When McHale got the ball, he'd get it here. You know, he told Ainge and DJ and Seechting to get the ball near his head. He'd immediately put the ball up here. He was already about 7 feet tall. No one could get near the ball, so his shot was unblockable. And that is what drove Barkley nuts. McHale already had so many inches on him. And then he'd flick the ball into the hoop. His positioning was great. His court awareness, his rim awareness was incredible. McHale was so effective. And I always thought, boy, if Stoudemire got the ball and just kept it up and stopped being such a gatherer. Mark West had that weird habit too. Truck Robinson was a gatherer too. It's like, the ball, why put it all the way down here where a guard can get it? And a lot of guys took advantage of Stoudemire in that instance. No one could get close to block his shot. Simple physics, really. And McHale was one of the smartest guys I'd ever seen play. He also had one of the best, he had such a good sense of humor. He, clearly by the quote, but he also didn't take the game home with him all the time. He was intense. He competed hard. He scored 56 points in a game. He played with Larry Bird, the ultimate competitor. And they won titles. There was nothing wrong with McHale, but he didn't live basketball the way a lot of guys do. And that's just a preference. It was also just how he was wired. But when the game was over, he became Kevin McHale again. And great sense of humor, great coach and GM for the Timberwolves for a really long time. He also put Kurt Rambis, when Rambis was a Laker, on the floor in the finals. And that gets you extra credit points. All right, we got to talk about Devin Booker. The right groin strain that had Book sitting after 10 minutes against the Lakers on Monday will keep him sitting for at least a week, and then he'll be reevaluated. He's going to miss tonight against Houston. He's going to miss the Timberwolves game in Minnesota. He's going to miss Oklahoma next Wednesday in Oklahoma. He play Oklahoma on the road twice in 1 month. In those first quarter 10 minutes, Book was on a tear. I think he wanted to make a statement. I think Book wants first-team All-Pro NBA, All-Pro this season as well. 11 points, 4 for 7, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Now, being at the game, I was lucky enough to get to that Laker game. It was really nice to see Dillon Brooks there, not just because Brooks destroyed the Lakers all by himself along with villain junior Colin Gillespie, but the couple of games that I had gone to before, where I always go see a Suns game if I can at Lakers, the crowd's hate, the LA Laker fans' hate for Devin Booker was a little bit overboard. Like, I mean, really screaming at him when he's at the free throw line and really horrible stuff. Like, dude, it's just basketball. Yes, I know he's a division rival, but what did Book ever do to the Lakers except beat the crap out of them? So it was kind of nice to see Dillon Brooks get the brunt of that, because Dillon Brooks doesn't care. And Booker doesn't care either. It was just odd, because Devin Booker's not a bad guy in the league. If you're a basketball fan, you like who Devin Booker is and what he brings to the league, and he's entertaining. But Laker fans are a little bit spoiled, or a lot spoiled. Anyway, Book's been through this before, and he's been carrying the load as much as anybody. He hasn't missed a game all season. Pretty much everyone else hasn't missed at least one game. We reevaluate Jalen Green on the 18th. Grayson Allen is still day-to-day. When he gets healthy, when Green is finally 100% healthy, and when Grayson Allen comes back, there's going to be some long hours in the film room for Suns opponents. All right, so Book is going to be out. Life in the NBA. It happens to a lot of guys are injured. It's happening to every team this year. KD was out the first game that we lost to the Rockets at home. We are at Rockets tonight. Let's see, December 5th. It's 5 p.m. according to Yahoo Sports. One of you pointed out that Yahoo Sports has tip-off time. So I'm going to go with that for now. Suns are 13-9. Rockets are 13-5 last I checked. I don't think they've played this week either. Grayson and Isaiah Livers are game time decision. So Grayson Allen is healing. Jalen Green is out. As I said, update by December 18th on Jalen Green. Booker is out. KD is back. He missed the first Suns Rocket game. Rocket center Steven Adams is game time decision. Now, I want the Suns to play teams at full strength at the same time. If Steven Adams is out, even if KD's back, that makes the matchup a little bit easier for us. We can't do anything with that guy. Dorian Finney-Smith, Fred VanVleet, who's out for the whole season, and Tari Eason are all out for the Rockets. Not, as far as I know, no national TV coverage. This will be the first game without Booker this season. Our guys will respond. Look, the Rockets are a great team. They're a tough matchup for us. But if Steven Adams isn't playing, I guess the injuries offset each other. I don't like thinking like that, but that's just life in the NBA. So you have to at least consider it. So anyway, that is what's going on with the Suns. As I said, we're not going to do a super sub. We have a lot of your great comments, and then we're going to do a lot of NBA news. All right, so at Big Ears 11, I think you've commented once before. And the last super sub I spoke about was Goran Dragic. Big Ears writes, I love Dragic too. When Nash went to LA, I couldn't watch basketball anymore. It was too sad. It was kind of weird when Nash left the Suns. It was like, I don't care. It was like he didn't like our team anymore. It was really bizarre. But then Dragic, Isaiah Thomas before the dumbest trade ever, Bledsoe, Barbosa, and Gerald Green. He says, I love Gerald Green. I love Gerald Green too. Magical season. Should have been an all-star. Hornacek was the coach. We had 48 wins, and we missed the playoffs. That happened once before. That happened like the third season that the Suns were in existence as well. If we were in the East, we would have been tied for the third seed, I think. That year, Dragic got snubbed for the All-Stars, and he was averaging 24 and 7. But remember, he made All-NBA third team that year, and I think he won Most Improved, just like when Booker got snubbed for All-Stars. His numbers are better than most guys in the All-Star game. That was a fun season. That was a crazy fun season where the Suns were not supposed to do anything, and they almost got 50 games. Really cool comment. Thank you. Bill's Carnage. Suns just got another steal. Bill's Carnage. Have you commented or been here before? Either way, welcome. Suns just got another steal. LOL. What? What steal? What am I missing? Booker is on the downside of his career. His ability to lead and carry this team are starting to diminish. Book peaked in the finals and following year. Father Time is undefeated, and he has a seat ready for Booker. Oh, and they're the Valley Villains. Okay. Not in total agreement with that. He's played every game, while the entire rest of the backcourt has missed at least one, possibly two. Grayson Allen's missed a ton. Jalen Green's played one game. Even Gillespie's missed a game or two. So Goody's missed a couple of games as well. So I don't totally agree with that. He's been consistently double teamed and triple teamed. The strategy against the Suns going into the season, because everybody thought it was Book and a bunch of losers, not the case, was double triple team Book, and the Suns will fall. And that has not been the case. And the Suns are a little bit above 500. So, and Book's been doing everything he can. That's why his turnovers are up, and that's why his three-point shooting is down. He's got a guy on him. He's got a body on him because he's been a one-man show. What's cool is we're proving that that is a bad strategy. He'll be fine once Grayson and Green are playing consistently. I'm not arguing about Father Time, but it's not the years, it's the mileage. And yeah, Book has mileage, but when Book has a backcourt partner, Chris Paul, Grayson Allen, he's fine. Gee-Man, greetings from a small city in Germany where a heart beats for the Phoenix Suns since the 90s. Go Suns. Welcome, Gee-Man. That's so cool. Greetings. Welcome. Hashtag Go Suns. At B-Dub, I knew when you mentioned Dragic, you go straight to that incredible fourth quarter he had in San Antonio, and we finally swept the Spurs that year. Yeah, it was amazing. If you watch the last Suns latest, I talked extensively about Goran Dragic having arguably the greatest single quarter in NBA playoff history. It was really cool. B-Dub goes on to say, it was amazing. Sad we lost him twice. Book is still the man. He's just getting triple teamed, and it's taking its toll on him. He'll mastermind around it sooner than later. With all that pressure, I think sometimes his legs affect his shot. Big ups to all the Suns fans here. BYB Boxing. I so love the Clippers rant today. Yeah, if you want to see me go off on the Clippers, look at the last Suns latest. It is completely on point. It just is. What they did to Chris Paul is ridiculous. I also want to add that Channing Frye was one of my favorite players with the Suns. Just seems like his career was in a better place on this team. Channing Frye was one of the super subs, along with Dragic, who I've mentioned before. Yeah, Clippers are garbage. Garbage franchise. And it's really too bad. They got everything they need, and their front office cannot get out of its own way. Anonymous Rex. Rich, I use Yahoo Sports to check game times, and they always show the time TV coverage starts in my local market. So 5 p.m. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. 5 p.m. tonight for the Rockets and Suns. But that's local. So once again, I want tip-off time, and I'm assuming when I was a kid, tip-off time was 7:30, unless otherwise noted, like, national TV game or something, or an afternoon game or something like that. But it's like there's so much different coverage, and there's so many different television networks. It's like it's different every single night. As of now, tonight's game is at 5 p.m. That's from Yahoo Sports, a credible source. All right, as I said, no super sub today. We'll get to it the next Suns latest after we beat the Rockets tonight. But let's get to some NBA news. Some more fallout from the Chris Paul debacle. A couple of days ago, Lawrence Frank was quoted as saying Chris Paul is no longer with the team, and he was sent home from the road trip while in Atlanta. Everyone is rightfully bad-mouthing the Clippers, and this is one of the few times that I agree with Stephen A. Smith, who's just going after the Clippers, and they said they did it to make a point, which is weird. Look, let's get it out there. Chris Paul gets on everybody's nerves. Fine, but he's a legend. He's a first-team ballot Hall of Famer. He's, along with Devin Booker, he's the reason we got to the finals in 2021. He's Chris Paul. He's the point guard. Show some freaking respect. Former president of the Players Union. He's 40 years old and he's still playing in the NBA. Everyone bad-mouthing the Clippers for sending him home from the current road trip, saying he's no longer with the team. The other night in Atlanta, Hawks fans trolled the Clippers, screaming, "Where's Chris Paul?" There's video of it everywhere. It's a beautiful sight. Oddly enough, the Clippers beat the Hawks decisively. Technically, he is with the team, even if he's not on the bench. Legally and technically, he's still with the team. They can't do anything until the 15th. They can't waive him. They can't trade him. They can't dock his pay. They just sent him home. Really, really petty. Clippers guard James Harden said he was shocked as anyone. They played together in Houston. They know each other. They were really good together for a few years. CP3 and Coach Ty Lue hadn't spoken in weeks. Ty Lue not only looks tired and defeated with his 6-16 Clippers. Ty Lue has a good rep, has had a superstar player to coach his entire career. But he made his bones by getting in LeBron's face when he was coaching him in Cleveland. Doesn't mean he's a great coach. It means he doesn't put up with superstar BS, which can get you by. So this guy looks beat down because Ty Lue can fight. Really bad sign. Moving on with NBA news. In the next few weeks, the Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo will tie off whatever issues they have, which means they will most likely begin working on who they want the Knicks, who they want from the Knicks, as the noise from the Greek Freak camp and himself is getting louder and louder and louder. I mentioned at the beginning of the season, it was the first time, and people forget, Giannis went to the Bucks. Giannis went on national news. He said, if I had to go to another team, I'd like it to be the Knicks. If you're Giannis, you don't just say that flip. That means you want that to happen, and you can make that happen. And I promise you, Adam Silver has no problem with Giannis going to the Knicks. So right now, we're going to find out in the next 2 weeks what the trade package is going to be, and then after the 15th, it'll start getting real serious. But make no mistake, the Greek Freak is not going to be a Buck by the end of the season. Giannis is also out 2 to 4 weeks with a right calf strain. Usually before a big trade, a guy gets injured. Now, don't freak out. I know, but don't relate it to Devin Booker. What I'm saying is he wants to be ready for this. So yeah, he probably has a right calf strain. I don't think it's a 2 to 4 week injury. I really don't. He's going to get evaluated in 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks of doing whatever it is they need to do to ease the Bucks and the fans out of realizing, like, this guy's not going to be a Buck anymore. That is happening. Finally, rest in peace, Elton Campbell, former Laker, Hornet, and Detroit Piston champion, part of the 04 Pistons title team, came off the bench and played some good defense for them. Elton Campbell passed away at 57 this past Tuesday. As of right now, the cause of death still not known. It's 57. It's very young to die, especially when you're a former athlete. Good, steady forward center. Joined the Lakers out of Clemson. I think he's still Clemson's all-time leading scorer. Amazing college player. Perfect NBA body. You always thought Elton Campbell was going to break out and become an all-star. He'd have like one game where he'd get 20 and 10 and just look all-world. He had his timing was bizarre. He joins the Lakers, and he went to the finals when Kareem had already retired, but Showtime was over and Magic got injured. That's when they lost to the Bulls. They won the first game, and then they lost the rest of the finals. And then right as Shaq and Kobe were getting going, the Lakers traded him to, I think, the Hornets. I think he was also on the Sonics before they became OKC for a minute. So he missed Showtime, and he missed Shaq and Kobe. Lakers do. 15 NBA seasons, really good, consistent defensive presence, all-around great athlete, quiet, humble man. Rest in peace, Eldon Campbell. All right, so hey, that's it for today. I don't got time to do Super Sub. We're going to get to it on Monday, and we're going to talk about the Suns coming together and beating the Rockets in their house without Book. Book's going to rest. Have a really awesome weekend. Appreciate you watching Suns Latest. Subscribe if you like. Don't worry if you don't want to. Thank you for commenting. I'm Rich Rubin. We'll talk on Monday.